First thing we're going to be running down is why I like to pick. Second thing, how he fits on the Fins roster. Third thing is pro comparison. What I really like about this pick is he's a great 7th round pick. I mean, if it wasn't for his 40 time, he wouldn't have fell all the way down to 7th round. He would have been a late 4th round, maybe early 5th round pick, maybe even farther up in the 4th round than he was. So this is an absolute steal in the 7th round. Extremely productive player out of Virginia Tech, scored a ton of touchdowns. What I really like about him is the Dolphins had a lot of woes in the red zone last season. We got in the red zone a lot. I think we were in the top 10 in red zone appearances last season, and we've been in that top 10 I think the last 2 to 3 years actually. We just cannot finish in the red zone. I think Isaiah Ford has potential to help us in that department. He's a great 50-50 ball guy, a really savvy route runner. He plays way faster than his 40 time on tape in my opinion. I think Isaiah Ford is an absolute steal in the 7th round. So some of the negatives, there's not really a whole lot of negatives other than the speed issue that a lot of people have with him. I really don't see it. I think he plays a little bit faster on tape than he did in his 40 time. So he has, again, a lot of potential. Absolute steal in the 7th round. Again, if it wasn't for the 40 time, he goes 4th, 5th round, and it's a great value pick. Again, highly productive player. Another thing I really like about him in big games and big situations, I think most notable game is the game against Clemson. He has big games against really talented players, so he doesn't disappear against big schools, talented rosters. He plays in big games. He plays really well. He's productive, and again, really good high point ball guy, really in that red zone department because of his savvy route running to work the intermediate, middle of the field routes. He's more of an outside guy than he is a slot guy. Roster the most is in the red zone, like I just alluded to earlier. I think the Dolphins have had woes in the red zone for a long time now, and we need to really capitalize. If you just go watch a bunch of Dolphins games, I'm talking we'll go through every single one of them, whether it be holding calls, whether we just didn't convert in the red zone to put teams away. We had a lot of opportunities to put a lot of good teams away and to keep up with a lot of really good football teams. We just could not do that. I think Isaiah Ford can come in and help us in that red zone department area. Now, whether he can work up the roster, which I think the receiver core is the deepest on this Miami Dolphins roster, is going to be really hard for him to do. So he's going to have to work extremely hard, show us that he can really bring something to the football team, which I think he can in the red zone, being that savvy route runner, being that really strong-handed 50-50 point guy. I think he can, but he's going to have to work really hard to do it. I mean, he's going to really have to work really hard to make the team. But again, great value there in the 7th round. I really see him making an impact in the red zone because of his savvy route running, because of his strong hands, and his ability to get those 50-50 balls. Harrison, I really don't have one for him. It's really hard because of the 40 time disappointment. Because tape, there's not really a guy that I can point out to right in the NFL is in the red zone exclusively like that, and can do it at a high level. I really just exclusively red zone guy. I don't know. Plus, he's gonna. I think it adds depth to the receiver, but we already had depth there. Hopefully, he can work his way into the rotation. Really don't have a pro comparison for him, but I think it was an absolute steal in the 4th round, or no, excuse me, the 7th round. I think it was an absolute steal. Very close to being obviously being Mr. Irrelevant there, but I think he has a chance to come in and make an impact in the red zone. Hopefully we see that out of him in the preseason. And Adam Gase cannot get enough receivers in an Adam Gase offense. It's going to be interesting to see what we do with Isaiah Ford.